Welcome to Speakeasy Spirits. Today we're going to look at a divisive cocktail. You'll either love it or hate it, but I've never met anybody who is indifferent to it. We're going to look at the Aviation. A classic Aviation is a lot like other pre-prohibition cocktails. It's using gin, Luxardo maraschino liqueur, and lemon juice, but the divisive ingredient is creme de violet, a liqueur made from violet flowers. This is the ingredient that people have a hard time with. A little bit of creme de violet can go a long way. I found that this liqueur de violet by Tempest Fugit is a little more forgiving than some of the others, so we're going to use this in our cocktail today. So let's start with a ½ ounce of lemon juice. A ½ ounce of Luxardo maraschino liqueur. An 1¾ ounces of gin. I'm using Aviation gin because it just seemed fitting. It's an American style gin. And a ¼ ounce of our creme de violet. Add ice to our tin. And shake. You may want to shake this cocktail a little longer than you normally would. A little extra dilution really helps out this recipe. Now we'll use a coupe glass. And for a garnish, since we're using a Luxardo liqueur, let's use a Luxardo cherry. We'll get as much of that juice off as we can. And now we will double strain into our coupe glass. And that's the classic Aviation. I'm one of these people who definitely falls into the camp of love it. It is very floral. Violet is a very strong flavor, but used in moderation, it really makes this a unique cocktail. You get some of the cherry and herbal notes from the Luxardo, along with the botanicals of the gin. The lemon juice adds just enough tartness to balance the sweetness you're getting from the two liqueurs. It's a really well-balanced cocktail, but let's take a look at a modern variation. This next cocktail is Takumi's Aviation. It was created by Takumi Watanabe for a bartending competition in 2010. He changes out the creme de violet for Parfait Amour. Now this is a rose-based liqueur with the addition of orange and vanilla. This is really one of my favorite liqueurs, and it goes really well in this cocktail. Parfait Amour can be hard to find. I've not been able to find any in my local liquor stores. This bottle actually comes from a vacation to Greece. I got this at Bretto's Bar in Athens where they make their own liqueurs. I fell in love with this there, brought back a few bottles. This is the last of it I have. We'll start with 1/3 ounce of lemon juice. ½ ounce of Luxardo. One and a half ounces of gin. And just a scant 1/6 ounce of our Parfait Amour. Add ice. And give it a good shake. Now we'll double strain that into our coupe. And we'll garnish this one with a lemon wheel. And there's Takumi's Aviation. This one really walks back the floral notes, cutting back on the liqueur and the lemon juice, so the gin really comes through. You're going to want to use a gin that you really like in this. The Luxardo definitely comes through strong. It's got more of a cherry flavor than the other one did. It's much lighter. You can tell by the color that it's already going to be more gin forward. If you're trying an Aviation for the first time, this may be where you want to start with and work your way up to here if you like the floral notes in this one. When I'm trying to come up with a new recipe or a variation on a classic cocktail, I sometimes go backwards and start with the name and try to figure out the recipe from there. So for this version, I came up with the name Naval Aviator. So to represent the Navy, we're going to use rum in place of our gin, and we're going to rebalance the ingredients a little bit. We'll start with ½ ounce of lemon juice, ½ ounce of the maraschino liqueur, one and a half ounces of white rum. A Navy strength rum would be perfect for this, but I'm going to use this Real McCoy 3-year. And a ¼ ounce of creme de violet. Add some ice. And give it a good shake. Again, this is another cocktail that really benefits from some extra dilution and being extra cold, so give it a really good shake. We'll use a martini glass for this one. Let's do another maraschino cherry. Now we'll strain that into our martini glass. You could garnish this with something like an edible orchid. It would really illustrate the floral nature of this cocktail. Here is our Navy Aviator. Changing this to rum from the gin doesn't really change the cocktail too much. It adds a little bit of a fruity note to it that underlies the floral notes, but it's still very much an Aviation. It's sweet. The lemon juice adds a nice bit of tartness. For me, the floral notes are not overpowering. It's very well balanced. So if you're adventurous enough to pick up a bottle of creme de violet, I recommend you try it both ways, with gin and with the rum. I hope you enjoyed the video and this quick look at the classic Aviation cocktail and a couple of modern variants. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.